Good morning and welcome to BIFA Link TV, your daily dose of industry information. This morning we welcome back Ian Matheson, BIFA's PR consultant, with a roundup of this week's news that has an impact on our members' activities. First of all, good morning Ian, thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Natalie, how are you?
Not too bad, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Busy week this week for some news, so I'm going to rattle through it fairly quickly. Obviously, most of your members will be aware that the dock strike on the US East Coast and Gulf Coast ports didn't last very long. I think it was 3 days, and they've reached a tentative agreement on wages. That doesn't mean there isn't a massive backlog of ships, of course, to unload, and they're going to be delayed getting back into the Far East and Europe, so that's going to impact schedules for a long time to come, I would guess. And there's no guarantee, of course, that there won't be further strike action if the two sides don't reach an agreement on the automation issues that they're arguing about before the January 2025 deadline.
Sure, it sounds like that's still going to be causing problems for our members, if they're providing services to that part of the world.
Absolutely. I mean, in the air freight environment, meanwhile, IATA, a bit more positive news, IATA announced that the global air cargo demand registered its 9th straight month of double-digit growth in August, with demand up, I think it was 11.4% and 12.4% for international operations. And that's the highest it's been since the peaks of 2021, when we were deep in the pandemic.
Sure. That sounds a lot more encouraging for our members, doesn't it, Ian?
Yeah, absolutely. And turning to overland transport, your members who are involved or are actively looking for alternative container haulage services in the UK might note that Freightliner has introduced a new service between Tilbury 2 and Manchester Trafford Park. And that's been made possible by what's known as an access charge discount scheme, which is a program that Network Rail launched to support the creation of new networks and encourage the modal shift to rail. I think DP World is doing something similar from the port of Southampton, where they offer discounts. But there's a lot of information on your website about that.
There does seem to be a few more initiatives around these days to encourage the movement of cargo by rail rather than road.
Absolutely. And in other news, there's been considerable media speculation that the implementation of the European Union's exit system will be delayed beyond the November 10 date for which it's currently scheduled, due to the lack of preparedness of systems on both sides of the channel. I think there's been major concerns about potential congestion and delays at UK borders, especially having a detrimental effect on trade flows. And I'm sure that BIFA will be seeking assurances on behalf of your members that if the EES in its current form is implemented on November the 10th, all avenues will have been explored to ensure that friction, disruption and delays for UK and EU freight utilising those gateways is minimised. And good luck with that. In associated news, BIFA members who visit the association's website on a regular basis should already know that the waiver for safety and security declarations for goods imported from the EU has been extended from the 31st of October to the 31st of January next year, and the implementation of a reduced ENS declaration data set and the first release of the single trade window to support the safety and security functionality is also being postponed until the 31st of January next year.
And as always, we will keep an eye on the developments around those stories, won't we, Ian? And obviously our news website will always encourage our members to visit our news area of our website, because there's full of information and updates on topics such as that.
Absolutely. Another interesting story, well, interested me anyway. There's a small proportion of BIFA members that are actively involved in handling abnormal loads. I appreciate that. But those that are will be interested in research carried out by the European Association of Abnormal Road Transport and Mobile Crane Operators that has expressed some pretty deep concerns in the heavy transport and lifting sectors about engine malfunctions, which is thought to have been caused by AdBlue additives. Esther said that many of its members have been informally reporting problems for many months, with some calculating that 1/3 of all on-road breakdowns were AdBlue related, which is not a good thing if you're moving the kind of kit those guys move. And then finally,
sure.
I'd like to invite anyone working for BIFA members who deals with the marketing and communications matters and handles the company's relationship with the media to consider attending the Seahorse Freight Association's Christmas Media Party and Journalism Awards in December. It's a very effective way of networking with a large number of journalists that write about freight, logistics, shipping, and it's actually a pleasant start to the festive period. And anyone who's
Yeah,
interested can find more information in the link in the panel below.
that sounds like it's going to be a great event, Ian. And Brooke and I are actually going to be representing BIFA and attending, so we're looking forward to that one. And I understand that Carl Hobbis is also one of the judges on the panel. Is that right?
That's what I understand. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to seeing him as well, being a judge on the panel. Thank you, as always, Ian, for your updates this week. We'll make sure that all the article links will be in the video's description. That's all for today's episode of BIFA Link TV, your daily dose of industry information.